Oh, likes. Hi, I'm Keyoka, the Awkward Black Nomad. I'm a writer, I'm a dog mom, and I travel solo. On my channel, I talk about my experiences traveling abroad with my two dogs. And I also invite other Black travelers or expats to come onto the channel and talk about their experiences living abroad, traveling abroad. This time we have a special guest who is actually from the country that we're talking about tonight. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, like the video. Okay, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed to the channel. And Black folk, we speak when we come into the room, so drop down in the comment section and tell us hi. If you have a question for my guest tonight, please put a Q in front of your question, and I'm gonna bring him on. Let's see if I can do that. Yes. Hi.
Hey, hello.
Hi, Walter. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you too?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, the
Yeah.
person who connected us, Katrina, is in the chat. She says, I'm so happy you
Yeah.
two made this happen. Hi, Katrina.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she's here.
Yeah.
She's in Vietnam.
Yeah, she's in Vietnam, but I think we had a later chat with her where she said she wouldn't be able to join live.
Mhm.
She has to do some other things, but she will replay it, then definitely follow up later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love it. Hi, and hi, everybody in the chat. This is my sister. I was telling Walter before the live
Oh,
that I always tell my sister to join.
she joined. Yeah, she's
she
here. So,
She's serious. Hi, Katrina. Hi, Khadijah. Hi, Yvonne. Right, and we on time tonight. Okay, we on time
oh
tonight.
yeah.
Hi, Black Yaya. Hi, everybody. As you come in, just say hi. Let us know you're in the building. So Walter, if you don't mind, could you let the people know who you are, where you're from, what you do?
Yes, so my name is Walter. I'm from Ghana. I am a photographer. I'm also a tour guide. Um, so basically, this is just me from Ghana who like to do nature travels and tours, basically to focus on the mind, where we have to kind of like go back into nature to rejuvenate ourselves, to also look at the ways and means we can reconnect and commune with nature as well. So basically, that's what I do when it comes to tourism. And I also work with an organization in Ghana here, and we are into tech entrepreneurship. So that's what I do as my day job. But travel and tourism is something that I'm most passionate about, and photography as well, documentary photography. Yeah. So this is me, Walter from Ghana.
Yes. I was so surprised. So like, I found you on Instagram. Obviously, Katrina sent me your profile, but your
Yeah.
your photographs are phenomenal. Like the work you do is very impressive. How are you linking photography with travel with technology and entrepreneurship? Like what? Like how are these things coming together?
Yeah. So I think it's a very good question you ask, and for me, it was first photography before I kind of like okay started with a travel and tourism thing before it came back to the entrepreneurship aspect of it. So that is how I was able to connect these three things together because with photography, I started way back when I was very young. And then I kind of like had an advice from somebody that I should take it seriously, because I was just doing it for fun, But when someone tells you that, I think it actually happened when I posted a sunset photograph, and this person was telling me a lot about photography terms, what I didn't understand, and was like, the professional photographer. I said, no. I said, wow, they should take it serious because there's something unique about what you capture. Oh, then I started reading more about photography. Then, okay, the next time I posted another picture, I had some very good comments and very good likes. And I'm like, oh, there's something in this. But I was just doing it for fun. So I started putting more pictures on Instagram. Then that is how it grew before I even went into documentary photography. and then I found my passion through where I started to say, okay, I like to hang out with a few couple of friends in nature just to do camping, and why don't I also expand into that aspect as tourism as well? Because most of us are always looking to make this good money before we travel, but it's the little you can have. You can just go into somewhere, just have a very good time with some few people, and like it's memorable. So that came forth when it came to my nature mind travels that I do with people. And also, then I also got into the NGO space where we kind of like do technology, entrepreneurship, and all those things. So, and also came back to the aspect that it didn't just stop from there, because the organization I work with, iValley Ghana, actually has a thematic area that is into tourism and conservation. So I still found my passion in the work that I do. So it was just like killing three birds with one stone. So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's how it came. Yeah,
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 it's very fortunate to marry those two things. I actually want to share a link in the chat. So he's talking about iValley Ghana. Um
yeah.
and the work is very fascinating. I have recently discovered that I'm a tech girly. And so this merging that you've done with technology and agriculture and even tourism and travel, and how like
Tourism.
laying the it kind of like lays the foundation for building up Africa is very fascinating to me. But I want to go
Yeah.
backwards a little bit. So you are in Tamale. I want to say
So
Tamale.
I'm current. Yeah,
Did
I
I
think
say that
you
right?
you got it right. Yeah, you're right. Tamale is right. Yeah. So I'm currently in Damango. Yes. So that's where iValley is. So
So give us a
yeah.
map.
So
Give the people,
okay. So
because Accra is
yeah,
down here, like in the bottom. Tamale is
yeah.
in the
In the
north.
bottom, yeah. It's in the north, yeah.
Hmm.
So basically, Ghana is the country. Accra is the capital, but we have 16 regions. So we have the Greater Accra region, we have the Ashanti region, we have the uh, Eastern region, Western regions, we have the Western North, we have the Brown Half region, St. Gold, and we have the Northern region, we have the Upper East region, and we have the Savannah region, which is the largest region in Ghana. So I'm particularly based in the Savannah region, but the capital, which is Damango, that is where I'm based. So when you drive all the way from Accra, then you come to the north, or you take a flight from Accra to the north. That is Tamale, and that's like an hour and 50 minutes flight. By road, it's more like an 11 to 12 hours drive.
Okay.
Yes, so you drive it up north to Tamale. Then from Tamale, then you can come into the Savannah region, then the other regions as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm precisely in Damango at the moment, and Damango is actually near the Moli National Park, which is the largest wildlife park in West Africa. Yeah,
Oh wow.
where you have lots of elephants. There are a lot of elephants there. We have hyenas and other species of birds and plants that are found in the region here.
Okay, wow. Wow. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people know Accra, and I think that's where a lot of tourists go when they first hear about Ghana.
Yeah.
What are they sort of missing when they only see Accra?
Yes, so I think a lot of tourists miss a lot when they just come and be in Accra and maybe probably go to the Cape Coast castles and the aluminium castles without coming to the north, because when you come to the north, then you can like. So one thing about Ghana is that we have different cultures, different tribes and different cultures, and the way of life have people from the food to the culture and everything. So when you come to the north, there are things that are different from the south in terms of culture, yes, and other things. So when you stay in Accra, you just get to see the Accra life, that is fast moving, the party life and stuff like that. But when you move down north, then we have a very laid back life where people are actually laid back a bit. Things are not in that rush like the Accra lifestyle. But you also get to experience the culture, because these are different cultures when you're moving through the north, in the northern region. is different from when you come to the Upper West region, and when it's different from when it comes to the Savannah region as well. But within these northern regions, they have common festivals that they celebrate. That is the Damba Festival. There are other things that, because it's noted that they all migrated from one ancestor and one place, and they just had to, spread across their wings to settle in different places. So when you don't come to the north, you just experience the part of Accra that is there. But when you come down the north and you start to experience, oh, okay, this is how things are done here, and this is how the way of life people are here, and you get to connect more with other people there as well. So you get to have a different mindset when it comes to Ghana, because you experience that lifestyle that is there before you get to the Accra lifestyle. And you kind of like say, okay, you have a whole holistic view or experience about how the life in the North is and the how Ghana has made you feel. But if you're not here and you get back there, you only get the Accra vibe or the southern vibe, and like, oh, I've been to Ghana, but you really haven't been to Ghana, because even in the northern region, we do have the Salga slave wells. So if you're even coming into Ghana for tourism or just to have the experience that is from the north, if you want to really experience that, you need to come here and actually follow the lane. The slaves were picked up from here before they get to the Salga slave wells, where they take their bath and then walk straight to the various castles. So you just have the story that is told in the south, but you don't get to see the genesis from where it started before it got to the south. Yeah, so that's what you miss out from. Yeah, and
You're
also
like
the
missing
food.
the whole
Have
point.
very good, the whole point. And also with their food and everything. You get to experience some of the street food, very amazing street food that you can also enjoy in the north. Yeah,
Thank you. I love that.
yeah,
And Yvonne says, so Ghana is the size of mid-eastern US in perspective. So 11 hours from Florida
yeah,
to Pennsylvania. So that means Ghana is actually
yeah.
huge. That's a
Yeah,
long
Ghana is huge.
distance. Ghana is huge. But
Yes,
I
Ghana
think
is huge. Yeah.
it's important to bring that perspective to the audience, because a lot of my viewers are American. And so I think when we think about well, there's stages of how we think about this, right? So like there's some people who see Africa as just one big, just this is a place, this is the only
Mm-hmm.
place, it's just Africa. But then
Yeah.
there's other people who know that there are different countries in Africa, right? But to even like
True.
make it even smaller and to say that like actually Ghana is a massive place with different cultures, and you get completely different experiences depending on the city that you go to. So I appreciate your
Exactly.
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um so what part of what you do, you mentioned it a little bit before, is connecting mindfulness with nature, and you actually take people on camping trips, and you have like these sort of
Yeah.
immersive nature experience. Can you talk to the people a little bit about that? Because we are
Yeah.
all not able to go
Yeah.
into the wild.
True. Yeah. So with nature mind travel, it's more about getting people connected back to nature, back to our own self. Where we are all living this kind of rush life. And the city life where the hunger is there, fast life is there. But I'm looking at where we can just all go back to nature, be ourselves, and be able to just experience the unique things. It could even be just a leaf, the shape of a leaf. Just you focusing on it, listening to the birds, and even trying to figure out where the bird is singing from. And even the wind that even blows. Because that's the one thing I experienced, that when you're in the wild, everything seems to be very calm around you, and even with nature that is just around you. It could be, and it's so amazing that when you are in there, no matter how the city life has stressed you, and you get there and you are able to just relax, just relax your mind. This is not where you need to try to wear your fancy clothes. Just be yourself, barefooted, just sitting down, being relaxed and just observing what is happening in nature. And when you observe it so deep, you kind of like feel some emotional connection with whatever is going around, because you are noticing, you notice things that are going around you, if it's maybe leaves or a tree you're sitting by, the leaves are dropping, you're able to appreciate it at that moment. At that time, you don't have your cell phone around you. Probably you're looking at the notification, but the notifications in nature it then just being the moment, the thing that are happening, those fleeting moments that you just want to appreciate and just give thanks to the presence that you are in there. So nature mind travel seeks for that kind of experience that people just want to just go, even just for a day, just to just go relax with yourself. You could have different motives why you want to be in nature, probably. Just want to ease off some pain, or just want to have a group of people you want to talk with. Sometimes we all have these things that are embedded in it that we can talk about. And the things that I do during my nature, my travel trips is that when we come together, we kind of like share, get to know each other. And if you're open enough to share, then we listen, and everyone comes into, okay, probably this is what I can help you with, this is an advice and things like that. So afterwards, it's not left onto you to be able to meditate, with whatever you've listened from the group, then take it upon yourself to just sit quiet, have a quiet moment. It could even just be you just trying to even learn how to paint. You shouldn't be perfect, just look at the tree, focus on the tree, and just try sketching something. And that keeps your mind focused in whatever you're doing. And by the end of the day, you kind of like realize that, oh, you even forgot that you even had a cell phone. And you also kind of like remember you can even live a minimal life where you're just in a tent and you're comfortable at the first time. So probably you don't even need a very big home to live in, and you can just live just so simple. You have one trousers or one shorts,
Oh,
then
I
come
think
back. The idea is that you are able to see you're able to kind of like see that, okay, there are certain things in the material world that you don't actually need, and you're able to cut down upon these things upon your arrival. So you kind of see a shift in your life automatically, and you're doing these small steps just to be able to live just that quiet and calm life. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, Cicely. I'm reading your comment. Being quiet is so underrated. But I
Yeah,
think
just being
it
quiet.
goes back to what you said about always being connected to technology, like your phone. Like people, I've been going down a rabbit hole these few days, these past few days. I have like weeks where I'll like focus in on something. And so this week, I'm focusing on like disconnecting from technology and like social media in particular, because I think that like people get so wrapped up in their phones and like being online that they aren't present in real life, and that isolation, it 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 forces you to, you know, not connect with other people. Like you can't,
True.
like people can't have conversations anymore, or
Yeah.
they aren't meeting in person, things like that. So
True.
yeah. Um, but I mean, you said a lot of things. So is your retreat sort of something that people will go to if they already have a group that they want to take on the retreat, or is it kind of a lot of people who watch my channel are solo travelers. So if it's just one person who's like, "Wow, I really want to experience this," but will you take me? Do you do you host, like, is it always in a group? Is it do you do one-on-one things? Like, how is it kind of set up?
Yeah, so basically, I do groups, but I do one on one. I don't do large groups because I believe in the small groups where we can control whatever is happening. Not not controlling people, but the number
Okay.
of people that you have,
Yeah.
just for you to have a very great time together, get to know each other. So I do group, I do solo, like just one. If it's just a person, we can just go together. And sometimes people just want you to just show them a place, based on what they want to do, then I'm able to take you there and just let you have your own quiet time. So there are even times you can even go to such nature places and like I just ask you, what's your purpose? Probably sometimes you don't even know your purpose, why you want to come there. But the moment you step your foot in there, then you kind of like, oh, I want to do this. Then I let you know, okay, give you your space. Just heal yourself. Just try to put your phone somewhere else and just try to just be quiet, for a moment. Just know you are here in presence and just observe whatever is going on. It could be the wind blowing. Which direction is the wind blowing? You can feel all these things. You feel it in your wind blowing on your skin. And these are things, so when you allow them that way, they're able to do their things. So for groups travels, I do that. And then for solo travelers too, I'm able to do that with you. I'm able to just set up a space for you to just have your own time. When you are done, just give me a call, or I'm done. Can we go back? Then that's fine with me. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm all for being barefoot on the ground and feeling the wind. I totally get that. However, in
Yeah.
nature, there are the threats of nature. Okay. You were talking about
Yeah.
elephants just walking around out there. So, how are you going to protect me from a lion? That's what I want to know. What kind of things should people
Yeah.
be? Is it
So
safe? Are we safe?
yeah, it's safe. That's one thing is that when you respect every creature and you know your safe boundaries, you are always safe. You know, I remember one elderly man told me that he learns I like going to wild places and things like that, and he admires that about me.
Mm,
But he gave me this advice that if I'm ever in the wild place and I see even a lion, I shouldn't panic. But the moment I see another human being just like me in that same place, and I'm thinking like, why is he also doing? Why is he also here? I should find the next exit and move out. The lion is not a threat, but my own human being is a threat to me. So I should find a way out. I really didn't understand what he meant, so I started going to nature tour very often. And one thing you realize is that you can even see an elephant. So in the Molly National Park, they don't have lions. I think it's been some 50, 80 years where they have sighted a lion. So you can be in the campsite, for example, at the Molly National Park, and the elephants will walk through the campsite without disturbing your peace. You know, the baboons are the ones that will disturb your peace because they need the food. Those guys should definitely worry, for the food. But if you also know how to just respect their space, you don't have to feed them, or expose food that they can see so that they can attack you to take their food. Because they're also just trying to survive, but they see the
mm,
food, they'll take it from you. So when you learn all these things and know your boundaries and give them their safe distance, you all live in harmony. So for safety, you just have to know how to respect their space because that is where they are. You are just a visitor there. So you just have to respect them enough to just allow them to do their thing. When they're over, you continue wherever you are doing. And just stay, have the boundary for them and respect for them. And you are good to go. Yeah.
okay. All right. If you say
Yeah.
so, I thought you were gonna say, well, I carry a rifle with me in case something happens. But I can get with that. I can get with that. Yes, respecting the space,
Yeah.
your space.
Yeah.
And that actually reminds me of there was this argument about what was it, like the bear versus man thing, and a lot of people
Hmm.
said that they would be okay with a bear in the woods, but not a strange man in the woods. So that's the same kind of
In the
energy, I
woods.
guess. Yeah, because animals have that, like, like you said, the baboon just wants your food, right? So it's very
Yeah.
simple, but you don't know the motivations of another human.
The moving. Exactly. And the thing is
Yeah.
that with even these animals, I think they're able to feel your energy if you're
Mm,
a threat to them. They are able
mm,
to just know that you are a threat to them. They feel the energy and they will attack. You just like the elephant, if you hit the elephant, even in 60 years' time, it still come, it will know you were the one because it has a very good sense of memory when it comes to smell. So
really?
it will figure you out. So these animals understand if you're a threat or not. Yeah, based on the because we are all human beings, we all have our vibrations and frequencies, and these are animals that are able to tap into that at different levels. So if you're a threat, they'll definitely know that you are a threat, and they will attack first before you do. So I just think it's just you just being open minded, just keeping your safe and just allow them to do their thing when they move, and you also do your thing. So because at the Mole National Park, there are sometimes you can just be in the park and you want to even get out of the park and there are elephants on the road. You need to just wait for them to move out of the road before you can leave. Yeah,
Right.
and sometimes they want to bully you. Yeah, they want to bully you. You want to pass, they go from the road, they come back in, and you have to stay. So they do whatever they want to do, then they leave. And but those are just the moments that makes you calm, enjoy their moment, and just allow them to do their thing, and then they move away. Because sometimes I think they're also being playful with humans, just to test how we're going to react. So they're just being playful. And when you understand all these dynamics, I think you wouldn't have any problems with these creatures, because they also live in things as well. So basically, that is it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because
Yeah.
what can you do? You can't push an elephant to the side.
But yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it
Yeah.
forces you to be
Very.
patient. It forces you to sit down.
Yeah. So just sit down, admire, and look at what it is, and that's the beautiful thing about elephants, because you think they walk slowly, but they're really very fast when they move, because the steps they take is like three of yours. Like, so yeah. So when they take a step, the length and how they reach out is when you are taking a human being. Like, so you may think, oh, they're very slow, but they're really fast. So, and they get to know whatever is happening, even though they have very poor eyesight, but they're able to figure what is going on around their environment. So that's one thing the guys at the Mole National Park will tell you, that, oh, you don't need to stand behind the elephant. Stand at somewhere it can see you and know that, oh, you're not a threat to me. So it keeps an eye on you. But when you're behind it, then, oh, there's something wrong with you. Why are you behind me? Then they are also now on their defense mode. Yeah.
Mm.
And
Okay.
then because some of them also, they are being poached and they are being hit by humans, so they want to keep themselves safe first before. But when you give them the safe distance and they can see whatever you are doing, just allow you to do your thing and they move away, because they just feed into us well. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. We have a question. Cicely asks, "What is your most memorable experience in nature?"
Yeah, so I think my most memorable experience in nature was on the mountain here in Damango, where we went hiking, and after that we decided to spend the night on the mountain, and we were with a few group of people. And it was why I say it's memorable, because I realized that a lot of us are living with depression, but we actually don't know who to talk to. And that's one thing in Ghana, because we don't have psychologists you can just walk into and start talking about your problems and stuff like that.
Someone
So, and
someone
sometimes
told me that mental mood disorders is
mental
a
health.
white thing.
Yeah.
Like mental there is no
Yeah.
there is no depression in
Yeah.
Africa. That's what someone told me.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because when you complain about depression, they're like, you're even lucky, you know what I'm going through, like stuff like that. So you have to man up, you know.
Yeah.
But I realized that when you go into nature with these people and you kind of like initiate conversations like that, we're not forcing you to talk, but just be open minded. And some people share what they are going through. You kind of like feel like there's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot of weight on people that they are not able to talk about it. So it keeps piling up, and like it's eating them up. But when they are able to do that, and naturally, I don't know how it happened. You all start sharing tears. In that moment, it's like you're all emotionally connected to one. You're not judging that
Mm.
person at that moment, but you're just quiet and listening, and it awakes something about you yourself. Probably you've experienced it. So how did you do away with it? How did it help yourself, even though probably you didn't seek any mental advice and stuff like that? So I sometimes feel like there's a purpose, when you meet people at such places and when they share their story. So why it's a memory experience for me is that someone's pain kind of like felt like it's my part, it's my pain too as well, because I felt it, when she was talking about it. Like wow. And this is someone that kept it for like some years now. And I was like, oh. But afterwards, she was free. Like the next morning, the person was very joyful, woke up to sunrise, sat down. Like I was expecting to see that her mood was just totally different. So afterwards, everyone go back to their destinations and we all check up on each other. So how far? If oh, it's normal. After I talked about it, I felt some relief. Like I'm good to go. Like wow, that's good. So I kind of like realized that these experiences sometimes we normally look at our experiences in nature like just an individual thing, but sometimes it's just someone experience that's going to motivate you or just going to hit you hard to actually understand that you are human too, and you should be mindful the way you kind of like treat other people, because you may not even know what you're going through at that moment. They may be smiling at you, but deep down there's something about them that you don't know about. And if you are quiet enough to listen, or so quiet enough to just hear them, you can feel their emotional pain from the way they even talk,
Mm.
And these are things I learned from just being in nature with people, because it has taught me to just be quiet, to listen, and just to experience what is happening in the moment and pick up words that people don't want to say, but it just expresses with their body language, even the way, even the pace when they are talking about some emotional stress. Like the person wants to talk, but it's still deep down the throat that they can't even speak. They feel like there's this strong pain that is within them, and like you kind of like, wow, nature gave you some kind of gift to be able to experience someone in that moment, and so I think it's one of my best experiences here.
Oh, I love that. I'm thinking about so the person in your story was a woman, but do you
Yeah,
find that do you find that that in Ghanaian culture that men also are taught to suppress their emotions as well? Or do you think it's just like
yeah.
a people thing?
So I don't think we are taught. We emulate our fathers, because you're growing up. Let's say you're growing up in a family. You're the son, and you have sisters and stuff like that. The way you are being treated to look at pain is different from the lady. You're a man. Why are you crying? Take it like a man. You get it. So during childhood, you kind of like adapt to these things, because why should you cry? Because you're a man. Men don't cry. These are the statements. Men don't cry. So you grow up with it, and the thing is that we don't actually learn to unlearn some of these things. It's part of it. It's like it's from the roots, and sometimes I understand that. Doing away with it is difficult, but when you acknowledge that it's not, you're supposed to keep these things and need to talk about it, then you are breaking that cycle of generational pattern onto your own son, because you definitely one day also say to your son, oh, you're a man, don't cry. So you fall down as a baby or a boy, though, don't cry. Why are you crying? You're a man, you get it. It's okay to cry because it's pain, so we grow up with these things without being taught, but we just learn from our uncles, our fathers, and everyone around us that, yeah. And even
Mm.
sometimes you have even some of the ladies even say, but you're a man, why are you crying? You should take it like a man and things like that. So you just have to be strong as a man and live that way. But more of us are walking with so much pain, and at the end of the day, we don't even talk about it, and it just goes on and on and on. And and the thing is that we're not even being truthful. When someone tells you about the pain from a guy to guy, at least you should be able to appreciate them and just let them know that, oh, I understand you, but don't be judgmental. You this thing, the pigeon we speak in Ghana, you this thing, oh, but it be what? Take it like that, understand. But sometimes you don't need to take it like that. You need to cry about it, just and you'll be okay with it. Sometimes just for you to just tell someone and you're good.
Mm.
But who are you going to tell? Because you're even afraid probably tell this person and they go tell another person when they're having a couple of beers. You understand? And they call you the weakling, But yeah, we all have our up and downs, and we need to respect each other's spaces. If you can help, fine. If you can help, then you find someone else that can help the person, but not just keep quiet about it and just cry over it. And yeah, so basically, I think we don't, if we're not taught, but we just pick it up from our predecessors, and That's how the
Mm.
generational thing goes on. You pass it on to your son as well. And that's how, so we just don't learn about it because it's deep rooted, And for you to even talk about it, like, oh, someone did you know what I'm going through and I've made it. So, so that's just basically so no one sits you down to talk about it. Yeah.
So you go tell. So who do you tell? You tell Walter. Like you come to Walter.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
Then,
go
but
to the
I
mountain.
think, yeah. But I think sometimes it's just that we need to have people that are really concerned about our life.
Mm.
Day in day out. Probably you shouldn't be checking up on me every day, but probably you should be able if we are friends or we know each other. You should be able to know me when I'm in stress without me even talking. You should be able to know these signals and just ask me, how are you? How really are you? Then the person is able to open up. When you start those conversations, then they know that you detect something because you're emotionally connected with the person. So they ask you, how? I mean, how are you? Not just because ask you, oh, I'm fine, but you aren't. But
Mm.
if you're able to detect, oh, this person is actually not feeling fine.
Oh no.
And just listen to detect it. And there's a reason why probably you are in that space with the person at that moment. And who knows? It's just for you being even giving them a hug or just saying something nice, and they're okay to move on again. But we actually don't listen. That's just the problem. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah. I
yeah,
think that's true probably everywhere, like all over the globe. Like I myself have to set reminders to check on people just because, with work, with the YouTube
yeah,
channel, everything gets
yeah,
crazy. And it's like, wait a second, I haven't talked to my sister. I haven't talked to my friend. I haven't asked anybody how they're doing because I'm barely
yeah,
surviving. But just
yeah,
reminding yourself to like check in on your friends and build
yeah,
connection. Yeah, that's important.
yeah.
Okay, Cicely has another good question. Any love stories from your mindfulness retreats?
Oh yeah. So
Really?
I think some people find love on retreats, mindfulness retreat, because I think you kind of like connect with people at a different level, and afterwards probably, and those are some of the things you go there are a couple of people and you kind of like talk to each other, and some people just want to take it a bit further, so you can even go mindfulness trip with people. At the end of the time, they end up going without even you. You know, they
Wait.
found love somewhere, and like, yeah,
So you've
yeah,
gotten left?
So
They've left you
yeah, you,
before?
you get, yeah, they'll leave you and go. They know their spot already, so they don't need you. Yeah, they need to have their own, and it's good. It's good to have your own quiet time to go back on the retreat with someone you really admire, get to know them better. To see if you can build a life with them or something like that, be in a relationship or wherever it is. Yeah, so that's fine.
Oh, so
But
these are people who aren't in relationships. These are like dates. Like people will go on.
yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. But
Okay.
the nice thing about it is that it actually gave me a perspective about, let's say, when I get to know this is what is happening. I think for me, it's a good thing because I'm kind of like looking at where I can even make couples go on some of these trips. You know, because if someone comes in now, they're able to see the value about it and going back there. What about couples that are always home? Sometimes you have your up and downs, and now you're able to take them on retreats like that. That really boosts up their love, or their care, they care for each other, or kind of like find themselves in these neutral grounds. Because if you're even annoyed at me, you're in the wild, you know. Where are you going to sleep? We're still going to be in the same tent together, or probably you want to sleep outside,
Right.
fine. But at the end of the day, you're still going to see me. So things like that. So I don't see something bad, but I just felt like, oh, it's just a way to just get to know people in a different space much more. But it's just that you need to respect each other's space and boundaries. If someone doesn't want to do certain things, it's not upon you to force them to do things like that. So, but if you're outdoors and you kind of think, no, I'm good to go with this person, that's fine. That's your own decision for you to take. And for you to learn the lessons that come out from it. If they're good or bad, at least you appreciate it. And there's a reason why you needed to go through that experience to learn. But if you still don't learn about that experience, you keep getting such more experience with other people till you get to learn the reason why you are going through such situations with people. So I think it's just a way. So the laugh thing is just there. Sometimes you even go and you kind of like hear what people have to say, and you like fall in love with them, not sexually, but fall in love with their mindset, what the thoughts, this thing they say. And these are people that can even be, you can even go to when you want some emotional guidance or emotional connections with them, like just to get some advice from them. And necessary, they're young people that really have very good advice, for the college young people. Because sometimes we all feel like, oh, it's the elderly people, but I've actually met some dumb elderly people that really don't have some very good advice.
Yeah.
But the young ones have really experienced some very tough situations and they've learned from them, and they can actually tell you, I've gone through this before, and I think when you do this, when you do that, you'll be good to go. And like, you kind of learn from them, right? So the last thing is just that it's just that it's love on different levels, being emotionally connected with somebody sexually, being emotionally connected with somebody based on other things you find interesting about them. And you kind of like learn both ways here.
Yeah. So it seems like it's an opportunity to get to know someone on a deeper level, which
Exactly.
could be, you talked about it being a good thing, but I can imagine it's
hmm
also a bad thing sometimes. Like, have you had people get into fights out there?
No. So
No.
that's the thing. Yeah, no one gets into fight there because before you even come to the campsite, whatever baggage that you have worrying you, you just have to leave it there and you come. So if someone even pisses it off, and that's the funny thing, you just if you're quick tempered, fine, but you have to self control. So it's always like, okay, find the nearest person and just tell them that this is what this person did to me, and then probably you want to go approach the person. It could lead to a fight, but just talk to the nearest person if you can talk to the person, yourself. This is what I experienced from this person. Can you talk to him or her for me? Then the person can step in and, oh, what happened, and kind of like listen to both sides, not being judgmental, and just kind of like let them just shake hands or just give a hug and they're good to go. But I've actually never experienced any physical confrontations from people. It's always more calm, loving, and sharing with people, because that's one thing I do when it comes to my thoughts in nature is that before you even come, you need to think about other people. So what are you bringing to share with them? If it's food, if it's a book you have read that is good, just bring it along and share with someone. I think we can read this then. If you're not being a book lover, just read a page about it and share it with them. And like, who knows, probably they may end up reading more books afterwards. Just bring something to share with somebody. So, but if you come and there's a fight, then probably we need to carry you out of the out of the park, or probably wherever we are, or
Right.
probably maybe extremely we just tie you on one tree for you to hug the tree and become calm. But then we haven't done yet, so yeah.
Right. We'll force you to
So
hug a
no
tree.
fight. Yeah, hug a tree and you become, yeah.
So, a lot of my audience, as I mentioned earlier, is a lot of Americans, a lot of women, actually, in particular. So, do you have any tips for people who want to visit Ghana, but they're kind of like at the beginning of their journey? They're not sure where to start. As we mentioned earlier, Accra is like that's the name that everybody goes for. But what if they're interested in
Yeah.
going to different places like Tamale and the other one that I can't pronounce,
Yeah.
Damake,
So yeah, the mango.
Damongo?
So I think we live in a tech world, a social media world. Sometimes you just need to just maybe type the place name Tamale. I think some food will pop up, some Tamale food will pop up. I mean, I've seen some couple of food that is named Tamale somewhere. But when you search it, you get to see what is happening in these areas, So you can actually look at what people are posting about these places. And that's the thing I do when I even travel myself. Like, say, I want to come to, let's say, somewhere in New York or California. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking at what people are posting about California or New York. You understand? And get to see who is posting more about this and then connect with them. Oh, my name is this, blah, blah, blah. I'm be coming here at this time. Like, what are some of the tips I can get? Can we hang out? Then you get to build before you even get here. You get to know the places, they can tell you certain things. So you get like two or three people you're talking with, get to know more about the place where you can visit, and you like make comparisons and stuff like that. And this one thing about Ghanaians, we are very generous people. We like to help people a lot. You can even get free accommodation in someone's home, without even paying for any hotel bills. Like get they take you on free tours, get you experience the town because they want you to feel welcome home. That's the face then. And then, so when you go on social media, you want to come to Tamale, you want to come to Damanko, you want to come to the Modern National Park, just search it online. Look at what is happening there. What are people posting about it? If someone is posting so much about it, or a couple of people are posting, just hit them up. It's a free world. Introduce yourself and just ask a couple of questions. If you're good to go. If not, you look for a different person that is doing the same thing, or even someone that has even traveled there from a different country. Just ask them. And some of this will also meet people that they actually trust. That have taken them to. Oh, when I came to Tamale, I met someone called maybe Mohammed or something. He was good to me. I can connect you with him. He's on this channel and things like that. And you are able to kind of like find people that you trust. You're able to come all the way down to Tamale and have a good experience. And those are the beautiful things you can just do to just come. But if you get to Accra, there are even people in Accra that will stop you from coming to the north. You know, yeah, they will definitely tell you, oh, the north is this, the north is that, the north is this. So you kind of like, okay, I'm not going to go. But what extra thing did you do about yourself to get to know about the north? If someone is telling you the north is that and the north is that, do you actually ask people that are in the north? Or people that have been to the north, that are even in the state, just ask them those questions. And they are all on social media. When you get them and you can ask them those questions, then you can confirm, everyone has their own negative side and positive side. Yeah, there's some bad things happening in the north, but there are also some bad things happening in other countries as well.
I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
so
listening to like some East Coast West Coast beef. So are the
yeah.
North and the South,
Hmm.
are you guys like talking crap about each other? Is
No,
that what's happening?
no, we're not talking crap about each other, but I think we always want to keep people in the south. When people come to Accra or come to the south, they start giving them names. They call you Ama, they call you this, they call you that. So, but when it comes to the north, we also give you the northern names. We call you
Mm.
Ayimpoka. We call you, give you local names based on that. But I think the idea is just to make people feel at home, so that they
So
feel welcome more.
when you say giving names, can you elaborate? What do you mean giving
Yes, I
names?
mean, when you come to Ghana, sometimes the Ashantis will give you names based on the day that you were born. If you're born on Monday, they give you a Monday name in Tree. If you're born on this day, they give you this name. So you get people that are called Ama, Akosia, and all those things. Yeah. So I think for me, it's not a beef. It's just a way to get people welcome and get them feel like they are part of it. You get it.
Mm.
But they are doing it so well. You know, the Southerners are doing it so well.
They have good
Yeah,
marketing.
because yeah, good marketing. That's the place you land. You don't land in Tamale when you're coming from. Ikotoka
Mm.
is in the south, so you get to meet them first before. So if you don't take time, you spend all your life in Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast, and you never come north because they take you all to the beautiful places. You're overwhelmed, you're tired, and then you can come to the north. Oh, the north is far, but it's far. So you feel like, oh, you've experienced Ghana, you need to go back. But
Mm.
if you come straight to Kotoka and maybe spend the night in Accra and the next day you leave to the north, you may end up spending a lot of time in the north without even, exploring the south as well. But the moment you land there, the vibe and everything is there. Even at the airport, they're dancing, welcoming you and stuff like that. So you are overwhelmed. I'm in Ghana, but There's another Ghana you need to get to. So I advise anyone to that. Yeah,
So,
spend some 2 days in Accra and
uh,
move down to the north and start experiencing north before you get to the south. So when you get to the south, you just take your flight and you're back. If you want to stay again, then you come back and experience more. Yeah, but when
okay.
you stop in Accra, coming off, you need a whole mental shift before you come off. Yeah, yeah, because you're always overwhelmed with a lot of things that are happening in Accra. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, so you get there. I've never been to Ghana, but I'm going in October. But
Yeah.
you get there, and apparently they start singing at the airport. Everybody's singing at the airport. Then they welcome you, they name you, they show you all these
Yeah.
different things, and then by the time you're done,
Mm-hmm.
you're tired. You don't even want to go
You're tired.
north
Yeah.
because you're like, this is
Yeah.
Ghana, this is everything.
Yeah.
That's good marketing.
And it's good. Yeah, that's very good marketing. Very, very good marketing. Like I appreciate that about them. Very good
Hmm.
marketing. So I think we need to also find a way. Probably you can just take a direct flight to Tamale, but that's not possible for now. Even though Tamale is now has an international airport, yeah.
Mhm.
So but I don't think we getting flights from direct flights that way now. But so the only way is just to start from the north, experience from the north, then you get to the south, then you can then move out. Yeah. So because Accra is all the way the parties, the wild parties are in Accra.
I don't know anything about
Yeah.
that. So, Christy, this is my aunt, everyone. Hi. She asked, who's got the better food? So, where's the better food in the north or the south?
Oh, so I think is this is it's a win-win situation. I think we both have better foods, because they are all different varieties. In the south they have different varieties of food. Even in the south, it goes from the Volta region where they have that Blair and all those things. In the north, we have different things. So you cannot base the comparison. It just has to do with your taste, or
Mm.
what you want to eat. Because they're all very good food, very, very good food. But it's just that they're from different cultures. So it's just going to base on what you like more or what you see that is more attractive to you. Yeah. So the food aspect is it cut across Ghana. It's really very, very good across all the country. Yeah.
That was a very political answer. What is your favorite dish? What do you like to eat?
Yeah. So I like to eat. We have what we call a tuozafe.
Tosafi?
T TZ. Yeah, it's pronounced as TZ. You know, it's made with so it's made with some people make with millet. And some other people make it with maize as well. That's
Okay.
corn. Yeah, so they make it with soup. So you can have these leafy vegetables they used to do the soup for that. It's a northern dish, and it's always you eat it hot. Yeah, so that's my favorite, because it's soupy. You don't need to put so much oil in the food and stuff like because we're all used to the rice, 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 rice. But it's time to get back to our indigenous food, where we grow our own food to be able to cook our own meals, and not let these food just go just like that. So T-Dot is one of my favorites. And that's the funny thing, when you're talking about food, there are even some southern food that are even consumed in the north. And some northern foods are also consumed in the south because you find T-Dot in the south,
Mm.
and it's actually people are making very good money from T-Dot in the south. You get it. There's cocoa that is also in the south. So it's a blend. The northern people eat the southern food, the southern people also eat the northern food. So it cuts across both south and north. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Khadijah is asking, what's the best place to visit for a newcomer to Ghana? So, like, give us a rough itinerary. You said we need to start in the north. Where are we going? Are we going into Male
Yes.
first?
Yeah, so when you start in the north, you can drop. Tamale is where you drop first from a flight. If you're using the flight, it's just an hour and 50 minutes. You get to Tamale real quick. So you can take your rest in Tamale. You can explore places in Tamale. With Tamale, we have We have the market. You can go just experience the live market there, get to see the spices that are there, the grains that are being cultivated in the north, different type of grain. You get to experience the culture there as well. How people sell. You see hawkers, carrying things. People are sitting under shed selling tomatoes and other things. So you experience that life from the market. Then afterwards, and that's the good thing about the northern Ghana, we have places that like there's this lady that does traditional food, so we have hair that does that. We also have people that have the art centers, where you go to see them perform the cultural dance as well, where they are creating artifacts, from the north. You get to see all these things in the north. So when you drop in Tamale, you can take your rest and you can explore the city of Tamale. If you really want to then go to the tourist areas, then you can then go into the tourist areas in Tamale before you want to move to the savannah region. Probably if you're a nature person, you want to visit the World National Park to see some animals in their natural habitat, then you can move there. You can go to where the hippos are. That's the Wichita Hippo Sanctuary. If you want to go to the Salga Slave Well, that's another route. You can go to the Salga Slave Well, see where the slaves used to bath and the chains that they used to wear, things like that. Then you can move back to the Upper West region where you can have other places you can visit as well. So when you come to Tamale, which is also very large, you can do all these tours in one day.
Mm.
You have to just take your time to know what you want to do. Where we have where they do what's the name, the leather works. They use the animal skin to do leather work. So you get to experience some of this in pottery. Pottery is actually a nice thing they do in northern Tamale as well. So you can visit the pottery a community where you learn how to do mix molds and pots, local pots. And the beauty of it is that these are pots that are clay pots that we normally drink water from. So, and it's very good. So you learn to make some of these pots. You get to see what they use, what the women use to do some of these pots. And we also have the art centers. We are privileged that Ibrahim Mahama, who's an artist. We have an Ibrahim Mahama, he was a millionaire in Ghana. Not him. We have another Ibrahim Mahama, who is an artist. He has an art centers in Tamale. SCCA is one, that is Savannah Center for Contemporary Art. We also have the Red Clay, where he has some of the rare airplanes that we have. He also brought some trains there. He also had the Nkrumah Folini, where Nkrumah, our president, our first president, built some silos and some other things that we need to see. And these places were abandoned. So he has three art centers in Tamale you can visit. And there are a lot of places you can visit in Tamale when you can. Then afterwards, you can move to the other regions in Ghana and you really enjoy it here.
Mm. Awesome. Is there anything that, thinking about how to ask this question, is there anything that when foreigners come to Ghana, you hate that they do? When you're like, why do they
Foreigners in Ghana.
always
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's this. It's a personal thing for me. So you guys tip a lot.
who?
Yeah, you guys tip
Who?
a lot.
Who tips a lot?
Yeah, foreigners tip a lot. So imagine I'm in a cab with you,
Uh-huh.
and the price for our transportation is let's say in Ghana city is 5 Ghana city. Maybe it's €1 or $1. Yeah, it's small for you, right? So you give like $2.
Mm.
Yeah. My fellow brother will look at me. Oh, you haven't given me just $1 or even less. You even negotiate, we bargain. Oh, you reduce for me, but you don't reduce. So it's like, oh, you are the bad one. You don't give me money. But I understand. Sometimes you just appreciate people for the good things they do, but it kind of like sometimes make us feel like, oh, we don't want to tip people. So we also have to learn how to tip in our own small way
Mm.
after we pay tithes in the church.
Is tipping not a part of, is that, so do is that a cultural thing? Do you tip in Ghana or no? Just in general?
No, we don't.
No.
No, we don't do it in general. No,
Mm.
we don't. Yeah, like I'm speaking personally. I don't really. It's now I'm learning how to tip, depending on
Yeah,
the way
if
they
you
make
don't
you
do it,
feel in
don't
the
learn it.
experience.
Don't start.
Yeah, no, but sometimes I learned it because sometimes the reason when you ask people the reason they tip and they give you the reason why they tip the pay, they're not just giving free money, but it's because probably the way the person make them feel. So they just appreciating that effort, for them doing it. But I didn't understand it from that way. So it was something I learned from people that come in and like they just so I just let them know, okay, you take the right amount, don't give so much, So
Well,
yeah.
because you brought it up, I'm curious about this. So, there's been conversations online about foreigners going into places where, so like the US dollar, like you said, carries a bit more, is worth a lot more
Wait, yeah,
weight, right?
true.
So, going into those places and, like you said, tipping or spending money or being comfortable paying €1 for something that probably would cost
Yeah,
like 50 cents. How is
true.
that disrupting the economy? Are we making it difficult for the Ghanaians that actually live there and earn Ghanaian currency to live and survive? In your opinion?
No, I didn't. No, in my opinion, you're not making the Ghana economy difficult for people in Ghana to thrive. I think it's just a way to actually boost the economy because let's say I'm a waiter, okay, then I'm being tipped probably $2. It goes a long way to help me, you get it, personally. So I don't think it would make the economy. It goes like it plays a very deeper role when you give someone a tip, appreciating what they do. But to see that it disrupt the economy or probably it doesn't make someone feel happy about it or like make the living standard, nah, I don't think it would do that. Because at the end of the day, this same person doesn't quit their job, they still come back to job, expecting to get more tips. So it even actually helps them to improve upon their services. Because if I was tipped $1 for doing this extra to get someone pleased or like serve them food, like the way I behave towards them. That's a learning opportunity for them.
Mm,
So they carry it upon everyone, just not with the expectation to get a tip, but just doing their work more, maybe more lovely. And if a tip comes, that's fine. If it doesn't come, I'm good with that. I'm just doing my work. They just appreciate them for the work they do. So I think it's just a way to help people learn.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Khadijah is asking, do you know ES? She is a Black American YouTuber. You know?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I know ES. Yeah, she's in Tamale. She built her own home, and she grows her vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. She's a very lovely person. I've met her in person through another. Yeah, I've met her in person. She's
oh,
well reserved. Yeah, but she's a very good person. Yeah, I think we met. I think 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah, in Tamale. Yeah.
that's amazing.
I
That's
think she
amazing.
has a YouTube channel too as well. Yeah, she has a YouTube channel. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, I do know her very
DIY
well.
House and Farm, I think
Yes. Yeah.
it is. Shout out to
Yeah.
ES. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
have her on the channel. Maybe I'll reach out to her, see if she'll come
Yeah, you
chat with
have to
us.
reach out to her. She would. But you need to push her, but she's a bit reserved, but she would
Really?
do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any, would you say, are there any misconceptions about Ghana that you find yourself having to clear up with
Yeah, I
tourists?
think you mentioned one. Yeah, with tourists, misconceptions. Ghana, I think it's just people just say it's not a safe place, but I think nowhere is actually safe. That's number one. You just need to find people or places that you can at least be able to seek help in times of danger or wherever it takes. So the misconception is that okay, Ghana is not a safe place sometimes, and even other regions in Ghana are not a safe place to go. But it's just for you to be able to go online to see for yourself, to see whether it's safe or not. People even talk about it. These things are not hidden. If it's safe, fine. If it's not safe, you get to know. So basically, the misconception is about, and also You know, a lot of people have been, you know, uh, you know, fraud. You know, people are being lured to get certain things from them. You know, but I think it's also a way that you have to be careful who you trust. Sometimes, you know, you don't have to maybe push money to somebody you don't actually know that much. You know, it happens to a lot of people. They come to Ghana, they want to do investment in other places, and they get duped. You know, and they just assume that Ghana is a country with dupe people, but probably it's just someone that you actually wanted to just maybe get you vulnerable in a way and just get something from you. But if you do your own background checks very well, if someone is selling property in Ghana, at least you have various ways you can actually also take steps. If they even show you this the land person, at least backdoor you can all do you can also do your own backdoor checks to see, okay, does this property belong to this person, or wherever I'm going is it safe for me to go there before I meet them, you know. And at least you can always also find your way around without just trusting people just like that, because you know sometimes you may have a good heart to help someone genuinely, but the moment the money comes out, like, oh, then starts, you have some stars in your head and you want to, you know, add more to get something. But at least
Mm.
those are some of the things I know happen in Ghana. People do people a lot, and at the end of the day, they have to go back home because they have intentions of coming to the motherland to be able to help, maybe build certain things and inspire certain people. And just one person just get them more down, like just for them, like they conclude that, oh, this is it, and I'm not coming back anymore. But you just have to slow down the process. If anyone is rushing you to do something, just slow it down, sit back, you know, just observe for yourself. You know, you get to know if you're ready to,
Mm.
if they're going to tip you, and just do your own background check. You can walk to into any office and just ask, who does this belong to, you know, and you get to find your own ways, you know, and people give you free information, you know. But whoever is leading you to do certain things to do, they get to people that they already have, you know, those talks with them. So you think they are real, you know, but they are all in the game together. Yeah, so yes, we have people that be fought people, but Ghana is still a good country to come and, you know. So
Yeah.
let's just clear that. Yeah, yeah,
So basically, you would have to just do your own research
yeah, yeah.
on
True, true.
ground, do
On
background
the
checks
ground,
on
yeah.
people on ground. So
Background
go,
checks, yeah, true.
yeah, yeah. How do you feel
Yeah.
about, how do you feel about that? So, like you said, a lot of, I'll just speak from my opinion. Like a lot of Black Americans
Mm-hmm.
go to places like Ghana and they want to buy land or they want to invest. Um, what's your perception of that? Do you think it's harmful or helpful?
I think it's helpful. Why I'm saying that personally, why I'm saying that is because I think a lot of good can come from it. You know, when someone comes down to invest or to buy land to do certain things, you know, they have seen something. That's why they're coming down. You know, because things are happening fast abroad. You know, than in Africa. So if they see a potential in something, they're coming down to establish. That is a good thing. You know, because it's going to bring employment to people. You're going to teach people, let's say, other new ways to do things. If it's in tech, it's in agriculture, you know, you are able to, let's say, that's my expertise. I'm able to teach someone that, okay, this is how it's done here. Can we do it here? You know,
Mm,
because people are now having, you know, automated farms that are doing that. You know, how do they learn these things? It was done in other countries way, way longer before it even got here. So if people are coming down to help build and to help establish certain industries, I think it's a good thing because one, job creation is done. Two, at least there's some money that is coming to the economy. You know, they're going to pay some taxes, and at least this at the long run is going to help the nation as a whole. You know, so I don't think it's a bad thing from my perspective. It's only going to be a bad thing probably if you're trying to exploit the system, you know, exploit people just to have your own way and probably take the money back to something else. So I just think that's the only way. If you have a genuine reason why you want to establish and why you want to help, I think it's a good thing to go here because it's just going to land You learn from you learn from their culture, and you get to know the way things are supposed to be done. Probably you are way advanced in your thoughts, but when you listen to the locals, they may have a better way for you to incorporate what you already know to make it better. So it's more like you're co-creating, but you don't kind of like push it on them. But when you co-create with the locals, then they accept it, with you, and they build it together. But when you're imposing it on them, then they realize, oh, nah, we're not gonna do this, and like we'll find ways to just take your money and leave. You get it. But when you involve them in the discussion, this is what I think, and it'll be good to help.
Yeah. And I think that's important. And I think a lot of people don't touch on that, right? So, like, including local people into whatever your business venture is. I think
Yeah.
sometimes with the American capitalism, we can kind of be very direct and kind of take over. But I think if you're especially thinking about investing or going into a new environment, it's really important to like build connections with people who live there, who already know the customs and
Yeah.
traditions, who know the environment. So that's very
Exactly.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so we've talked a lot about Ghanaian culture. Is there anything that you think would be like your most favorite value or tradition, or like the most meaningful Ghanaian tradition?
Yeah. So I think the basic one is just hospitality. You have to be nice to strangers, no matter who they are. Yeah, the idea to always help everyone is something that is instilled in every Ghanaian to be able to help first. So that's why you see every Ghanaian like, oh, are you stranded? Like they kind of like you don't even notice that they come and ask you certain questions because they know you are a stranger and they're able to detect it and they're ready to help you. So that is something that is really instilled in us. And I think that is why some of us use that advantage, to lure people in because of the hospitality aspect of it and then get them deep. But I think that is the the background when someone's offering to buy you free meal, pick you on their motorbike, on their car to take you to wherever you are going without you paying and stuff like that. So you just find strangers that are genuinely just want to help you, and that's the most laughing thing I like about Ghanaians. Yeah.
Now, I mean, we're not really used to that kind of level of hospitality. So, is it considered rude if you say, no, I don't want to go with your car? I don't want to go in your car by myself. I don't know you. No, I don't want to stay at your house.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's a bit
So,
overwhelming.
yeah, yeah, that is it. I understand that. So, I think it depends on the person you meet. Some people will just say, yeah, good, you don't know me, so why would they even jump into my car or jump in on my motorbike and go somewhere or stay in my home? I don't think it would be considered rude, but it depends on the individual,
Hmm.
that may think that, oh, probably you think I'm this. But the moment you also have that thought that, oh, this person thinks I'm this, then probably you are. It should be okay with you if someone doesn't want to follow you do something. You should just, oh, fine, I was just trying to be nice and just move on, but don't take it personal because you don't even know the person. What if you think you are able to maybe harm the person and at the end the person is able to harm you? Things like that go. So person say I'm good, just leave the person and just move away. But I think some people want to just take it too personal. Oh, I have to help you. No, but I don't need the help. Just thank you and you're good to go. Like, yeah, so I think it just depends on the person that you meet at a particular time of day or wherever you meet them that pops up some of these things. But generally, I think it's good to just say, "Oh no, I'm good, thank you." Then you move away, and that's good. Just give them a smile and move away. Sometimes it's just a facial expression. You can say no to someone and it means a different thing, but with a smile, it means yeah,
Hmm.
you have good intentions. So it just sometimes the way you say the no, sometimes they provoke someone to as well. So yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. So, my last question, because we've had you for yes, Cicely, introverts are like but we've had you
Yeah.
for a very long time, and it is very late in Ghana. It is probably like 1 a.m. right now. So,
Yeah, it's 1:44 a.m. now. Yeah, and the cocks are crowing. The cocks are crowing. That's the amazing thing about nature. I'm always asking myself how these creatures are able to tell time.
mm,
And they all crow when it's getting to 2 a.m. and stuff like that. So they keep on crowing till it gets to 2 a.m. and they get back to sleep or whatever they want to do because I'm not in the cook with them. So,
but
but
that
it's the
sounds.
amazing thing that
Why are
is
they
happening.
crowing at 2 a.m. though? That sounds so rude.
Yeah. No, I think it's time. They're just communicating time.
Oh, they're just letting you know that it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, yeah. It's 2 a.m. Yeah, so and it's just their own life. If you don't want them, then leave them. Don't read them. If they want to be disturbed, don't keep them because they're also having their fun time. They're messengers. So you can't stop a messenger from telling their message. If you are interrupted, then don't keep them. Yeah.
That's an adjustment. I think I think that would be an adjustment.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've appreciated you, Walter. Thank you so much for staying up and chatting with me and chatting with my
Yeah.
viewers. I'm gonna put links to all of your business ventures in the description of this
Oh
video,
yeah.
and in the
Yeah.
chat. You guys, check him out. Like, he has some amazing stuff. His Instagram has some phenomenal photography. We didn't get to talk about your exhibit either.
Yeah. The exhibit. Yeah.
Do you just want to say, before we go, do you want to like tell people what it is and what you've been doing with the exhibit?
Yeah. The exhibition. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a James Bannon, one of the. He's the greatest photographer in Ghana. He's the father of photography when it comes to Ghana. He's been doing it for and his 95th birthday. There was this call for photographers across the 16 regions of Ghana to actually send in photographs, that depicts, the culture, the traditions, and the way of life of people in Ghana. So I was fortunate to be one of the photographers that my works were selected by the team of people that are doing the exhibitors. I think the French embassy is part of it, alias Francais, and we have the Red Clay as well, and we have other partners that are involved in these. So the exhibition was just, I think it started early this year, where the lunch was there, where he was celebrating his 95th birthday, and the pictures were displayed. So we got to see the works James Banner has been doing all the century. He went into fashion, and he was a photographer that even had most of the pictures for our president Nkrumah, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah, so there's a lot in his archives. So it was just a way to celebrate his birthday and also get young photographers, to also display their work in regards to that theme. So I think that's a someone somewhere beyond. So
Yeah.
that's the theme for that exhibition. So basically, it's now on a tour across 6 regions. So currently the exhibition is in Tamale at Red Clay, where it will be on display. Then it will move to other parts of the region for people to be able to appreciate the works that other photographers in Ghana are doing, in regards to that. And it's also a way to tell photographers that you have to, archive your pictures, because you're telling a story. And generations to come also depend on your picture to get to know what was happening in some time back. So it's really a very good exhibition. And thank you to all the partners and the contributors that made this happen. Yeah.
I'm just listening to this and I'm thinking, like, you're so modest. Because what you just said was,
Mm.
you just said that your photographs were selected from everybody
Yeah.
in the country to be chosen to be a part
Yeah.
of this exhibition. And now your
Yeah.
pictures are going to be displayed across 6 different regions in the whole
Yeah.
country.
6 different
So
regions. Yeah.
it's not even about all of the different young photographers who are going to be archiving their photographs.
Hmm.
Like, you're going to be a part of that story. Your photographs are going to be seen in
Yeah. Part
future
of the story.
generations.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you're just like,
everyone
yeah,
is
this
gonna
is
be.
good for everyone, and oh, we're all
Yeah, I
getting
can make it
featured.
fresh.
No,
Yeah,
no, no, you are getting right.
I'm getting features. I need to
Yes,
put
you.
myself out there. Yeah, but
Yes.
yeah, but just that I actually also I think it's a level. It wasn't a good experience to see other photographers what they do. So beyond my own art, at least I got to see the good work that they do. So that's why I talked about it collectively. Just to appreciate them to us for. But actually, I also did some very good work. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you did all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did great. I did great. I didn't do all right. I did great.
Yes, you did great.
Yeah, yeah. I did great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, Walter. Thank you guys for listening to this discussion, being engaged in the chat. I'm going to remind everybody to like the video if you haven't liked it already. Drop down in the comments if you have any more questions for Walter. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed to the channel. And you
Yeah.
can actually
Subscribe. Mhm.
become a channel member now. It is a small way to support the channel, and I will actually be creating more exclusive content for channel members. So yeah, y'all, it's getting late. It's past my bedtime. It's I don't know what
Whoa.
Walter got going on. Okay, it's very late on his end. I would not.
Yeah.
If I was in Ghana right now, I would not stay on the phone to talk to me this late. So I really appreciate it. Um, but
Mhm.
you guys have an
But
amazing evening. What? What are you gonna say?
yeah. So I was just trying to say that you never may know when you come to Ghana, you will stay up this late.
I hope not. I hope I hope not.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, and you guys have a good night. Peace out.